Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the Fire Emblem 3 Houses Blue Lions Maddening Mode low turn count playthrough. My name is Mekkah and I'm not playing, I'm just commentating. Before we get into the Marianne and Dimitri Paralogues, which we're doing today, a quick note about last video. For a while I had a meme thumbnail up because I didn't have a real thumbnail to put on it due to some real life issues with Rin. Those are resolved now, everything is fine, but you might have missed the episode, so if you missed it, you might want to go back to my channel on the videos tab or in the playlist and figure out what you missed. It's chapter 16, 17, and 18. Anyway, with that said, let's get into today's episode. So, the Marianne Paralogue. The Three Houses players will probably remember this as being a long, tedious, and difficult map, but fortunately for us, it is a kill boss map. The bad news is that this boss is Maurice the Wandering Beast. This guy has 4 gigantic health bars that we have to get through, although it might help to think of this map as not a single kill boss map on a really difficult guy, but as a kill all commanders map, like the Rhea Paralogue, but with all the commanders being in one place. And in that sense, we've dealt with more difficult maps before. So Marianne uses a torch to reveal a lot of the other enemies here that are between us and Maurice. And we start using gambits on the giant wolves. All giant wolves have half broken barriers, which means it only takes 1 hit to break each of them. And wolves drop a material called wood steel, which can be used to repair or forge brave weapons. And in our case, we're particularly interested in forging the Brave Axe into the Brave Axe Plus. That way it gets +1 might and +10 hit, which will be useful for reliability later on in this playthrough, particularly on the final boss, as well as the Lord of the Lake. Of course, we can't use that this battle, but we're still going to use the Brave Axe against the Wandering Beast quite a couple of times, because it's just so effective and he's weak to axes. To break these wolves, we use a double weak gambit with Setheth and Felix, and we also use wave attack with Gilbert and resonant flames with Letitia. The latter both break all their barriers in 1 hit because of their huge range. From there, we can start focusing on the Wandering Beast himself. We start out with a gambit with Dimitri to prevent ourselves from getting counterattacked while still exposing or breaking one of his barrier spots. And from there, we're just going to barrage it with strong attacks. Once we set up our Dance of the Goddess formation. We do have the experience gem with us once again to maximize our XP gain every time we finish off a health bar. So Setheth starts out with a Swift Strike's Lance of Ruin attack on him to break down his first health bar. He's going to canto in a position that allows Byleth to trade the experience gem to herself while finishing off this wolf health bar. As a reminder, finishing off a monster's health bar does mean you get the XP for killing them. So that is useful. We also have Hilda as an adjutant for Byleth to gain some extra experience along the way. Now the Wandering Beast is pretty far away from the starting point, but thankfully all of our main combat units have now certified into Wyvern Lord. Byleth was already there of course, but we also had Dimitri there ever since last chapter, but last chapter we were memeing with High Prince. Byleth starts off with a Brave Axe quadruple on him. We could have used Battalion Desperation on her to avoid the counterattack, but kind of forgot, so that could have been a good option. Now from here we can trade around the experience gem and the Brave Axe to get even more attacks in. For example, we have Felix go in for the next attack. Felix could have chipped down his battalion, he was actually aiming to. You can see it's at 2 durability right now if you look closely. But the Wandering Beast ended up missing, and we decided it wasn't worth Divine Pulsing for, so we're just going to continue. But that could have been something that was supposed to happen. Now the next thing, we're actually going to gambit with Dimitri again. If you gambit a demonic beast, they end up being forced to target you. Most enemies will be immobilized, but monsters instead just are forced to attack the person that gambit them, and they are not immobilized. But nonetheless, this monster is going to be attracted to Dimitri. Setheth is going to go for a Swift Strikes with the Kill Lance, but he doesn't manage to finish the Wandering Beast off. And instead what we do is we get this extra round of combat in so that Maurice is forced to suicide on Dimitri, making use of Battalion Wrath Advantage to finish him off and get a bonus round of combat in basically. So that is the Marianne Paralogue, finished in 1 turn. We end up with the Edmund troops and the Blood Gang, the latter of which we're going to make use of in a later chapter. Next up is the Dimitri Paralogue, and I remember this map being a bit of a joke. I don't know why they make all these Azure Moon exclusive maps so bad, but here we have another easy kill boss objective with a boss that's very easy to one round, and when you consider all your high movement options, very close to the starting point. We stride with the Dew to start off. You might be wondering why he got here, but he does actually get automatically recruited from the Great Bridge chapter, even if you don't see him. He comes in like turn 2 or 3 or something. We start off by killing this Armor Knight with Setheth. If you're very closely paying attention, you might see that he's reclassed to Wyvern Rider instead of Wyvern Lord. This is to reduce his avoid and make it easier for him to take a counterattack and chip down his battalion. We finish him off with Casper, who we have deployed to get a good level up. Depending on what his level up would be as an adjutant, we deploy and undeploy him as needed to see whether he gets strength or not. Again, he needs to reach 32 strength by his own Paralogue, which is coming up soon. And then we warp Byleth. Now, you might notice that we have deployed Petra, who we haven't seen in a while, and we reclassed Byleth and her to Thieves. Now, Thief, not the best combat class, of course. It's actually not an advanced class, so you might wonder why it's even here. The reason is there's 3 stealable stat boosters on this map, the first one being the Goddess icon that Petra steals from the Fortress Knight. The second one we're going to get is an energy drop from a Paladin all the way across the map. The third one that's available is an Angelic Robe from a War Master that's pretty far away from the starting point. So far, in fact, that we can't really reach him reasonably, and in any case, he has way too much speed to steal from. The Fortress Knight is, of course, very easy to steal from, and a Paladin, he has like 32 speed. So between like rally speed from Annette, even like Chapter 11 recruited Petra can steal from him by using a speed ring. Stealable stat boosters are a bit of a theme among Lord exclusive Paralogues in 3 houses, and I'm glad for that because 3 houses generally doesn't do good side objectives that are worth it very well. Note that Hilda is being an adjutant to Linhardt in this map. She's very close to mastering Archer, and that is one reason why we want her to at least participate in some capacity. But she also needs to reach level 20 before the Lord of the Lake Paralogue. Don't ask me why, I haven't watched those chapters yet, but that's what I've been told. It's also worth noting, at some points, it hasn't really been relevant now, but Bernadetta has mastered enough riding rank to have move +1. The player actually forgot to put that on her for a little bit, but it hasn't been too relevant for the playthrough as a whole. But it does need to be there at some point, I do believe. So yeah, Byleth steals the energy drop, and now all we have to do is fly Dimitri towards Hubert. We have given him our favorite weapon, the Devil Axe. Despite its high weight and everything, it still one-rounds him with ease. And that is going to be the Dimitri Paralogue completed in 1 turn, and we will see you next time. Peace out, and goodbye. Lord.